Hello everybody, this is RBR Short Films 13, aka Ryan, and today I'm doing a review of Halloween Kills. Got it with me. Yep, what I got from the movies when I went to see it. Look at that. So I'm going to give my opinion about this movie. Uh, it's my personal favorite Halloween film. I know that a lot of people don't like this one, and a lot of people are talking bad about it, and it's audiences and critics that are, really aren't. It didn't get the responses that the last movie did, Halloween 2018, um, and uh, I was very surprised by that. I thought Halloween Kills was going to get like a lot better responses than what it got. I'm still very surprised by the bad reviews and audience responses by this movie. I went to Chicago to visit my uncle to see the movie with him, and he dressed up as Michael Myers. It was the coolest thing ever. And we went to see the film, and it was definitely one of the greatest cinematic experiences. And now we're out of the pandemic and going back to the movie theater. This was like one of the first movies, going back to the movies after all of that, that has happened, and it just, I don't know, took me back to like 2018, and 2018 was a really wasn't that bad of a year for me, and I really that was kind of my favorite year as a filmmaker was 2018. I made three uh, um, short films that year that I'm probably my most proud movies. I don't know, it's just something about 2018, but yeah, it was really great movie. My opinion, I definitely think some parts were a little over the top. Um, a lot of a lot of reused dialogue given to different characters. There'd be a line that a character would say that another character would say, and there was wasn't. That was definitely the weakest point of this movie was dialogue and character development, I guess. Even though I love the characters in this movie, and I care what happens to them, and I'm invested in what's going on. So I guess I'll talk about like what we'll get out of my complaints about this movie out of the way, and um, I guess what are the things that I didn't like. Um, uh, Probably that almost every character in this movie is really not the smartest when it comes to um, survival. Um, these characters really make a lot of bad decisions, and pretty much all of them. And you're just kind of like, I would never do that, or I would never make that decision, or I would never go there, or I would have done this instead. Like, it's definitely moments like that felt like those bad horror films where like characters make like the dumbest decisions. There were definitely moments like that throughout the whole film that I was just like, come on, is a character gonna try to run away or anything? I mean, are they just gonna be like, okay, Michael Myers is in my house, so I'm just gonna give up and die? Like, I mean, that's and then Tommy Doyle was really bad in this movie. He he had a good opening, like the very first scene that he had, and he's like talking about all that happened, and then they have all the flashbacks and stuff. Like that was great. And I was thinking, okay, maybe this actor, will bring something to the role. I see potential here. and it just goes downhill throughout and so overdone. Um, my complaints about the movie would be probably that. Um, what I loved about this movie and why it's rated as my favorite Halloween film, despite the flaws, would be the great performances. Jamie Lee Curtis, I thought, was phenomenal in this movie. I would almost say she was better than the last movie. Even though she doesn't do a lot in this movie, nothing like she does in the 2018 film. I just felt like I don't know. I mean, it's definitely very dramatic, but it's definitely very Jamie Lee Curtis and very Jamie Lee Curtis, Laurie Strode. I was into it, and it was interesting to get more flashback. I mean, to see the opening of the original. Anyway, still talk about the acting. I did enjoy the actress who plays Alice, and I liked her in this. Um, and Judy Greer as Karen was probably the best. Uh, and I mean, the acting was just improved upon, I think, with those two than the last movie. I really did like Karen in this movie. I didn't like her character so much in the last film, but Judy Greer did a really great job in this movie. And um, I love seeing like the characters like Marion Chambers. It was great to see Lindsay um, uh, and just to see like those original characters um, was was awesome. And the actor, the the dad, Liney, um, he did a really good job in the movie. I thought because his acting didn't feel overdone, and I like non overdone acting. So he did a really good job. And um, let's see. Oh yeah, and no one's talking really about him, but Charles Cyphers, who played Sheriff Brackett in the original movie. I thought he was great in this, even though he was given like not maybe the best dialogue. He still, was great, and he, had the original line, "One good scare" moment, and you know, it was. I thought he was awesome. Um, he wasn't in it a lot, but he had some parts, and that was really cool. That was a great cameo. Um, I never thought he was ever going to be in any of the Halloween films, so that was really great that he was able to come back. Um, and now we'll talk about musical score. John Carpenter's score for this film was absolutely groundbreaking. Um, oh my God. I mean, the 2018 score was groundbreaking and just beautiful, amazing score. Uh, John Carpenter's music for the original Halloween 2, Halloween 3, all are masterful. And and then when he came back with this with 2018 and now Halloween Kills, like, oh my God, like he never makes a bad score. I think it's impossible for John Carpenter to make a bad score of a Halloween film. I mean, I don't know how you get it wrong. And he proves in this movie how well he gets the story and the how you're supposed to tell the story with music. Like he's a music composer, even though he's also a filmmaker. He's a director. He's a music composer. You know, really, and then his son Cody Carpenter, like they did an incredible score with this movie. I love it, absolutely love it, um, and is probably the strongest point of this movie is the music, and it is up there with the original with the original film and the original Halloween 2. It was groundbreaking, and the music just really flowed. I feel like the music was the most um, consistent out of everything that was going on in the film. The music what flowed, and what really helped pace everything was the music. Music can really help flow your movie and how you're supposed to feel in scenes and stuff. And the music was just absolutely brilliant. Um, so not really any complaints about the music at all. It was absolutely perfect. Now we're going to talk about cinematography. This is probably the best shot Halloween film, the cinematography. Uh, of course, it opens with that flashback. It looks just like the original film. The cinematography, the lighting, the shadow, the camera framing, all like the original movie. It was, they got everything right. Um, and then just the way certain scenes are lit in certain scenes in this movie are just really great and really fleshed out, and like this film was like scary compared to 2018 Halloween. 2018, it had a couple scary moments, but overall, like because it had so much comedy in it, I wasn't like scared. But with this movie, there were parts that actually I was at the edge of my seat. I was like, oh, like wow, this is really terrifying. And there's just certain camera shots that are just like wow for a Halloween film. So the cinematography definitely was perfect. uh, and well, now let's talk about the mask. That's always I would talk about with any Halloween film is the mask. Um, the sequels have been known for messing up the mask uh, many times, but to me, this film got the mask right out of all the Halloween movies. Like aside from the original, and yeah, yeah, Halloween 2. Like I know the way the mask is in Halloween 2, it's a little different from the original, but even though it's the same mask, but I still look past that when I watch the original Halloween 2. But in general, yes, the mask in the flashback of Halloween Kills, the opening, that mask is the best Halloween mask that I have seen in any of the movies aside from the original, my opinion. And the new mask that's like part burnt, um, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. It like it had um, it has that modern day look, but also has that nostalgia, and I don't know, it just really worked. They really made it work with this movie, and they did with the 2018 film. So the mask was great, and I can't wait to see what they do with the mask with Halloween Ends. And I really hope that it is um, freshly polished and clean and everything, like how it looks in the opening of Halloween Kills and how it looks in the original movie. I kind of want to see that original mask in Halloween Ends because it's supposed, the last Halloween film. I would like to see that original mask, um, and for them to get it right. Finally we could say, oh, this Halloween film has the exact same mask from the original movie, and it looks exactly the same, and they didn't mess it up at all. Like it would just be really cool if the mask in the final one is the original mask, so everything ties in, because the mask can really help you feel that way watching the movie. The mask is like, aside from the music, Michael Myers' mask is like everything, to the films, and they got the mask right. Now we'll talk about suspense and horror. So the suspense in this movie is Michael Myers walking dramatically. Um, he's in the shadows. He's like knocking on doors and tricking people and playing with them, and hiding in places that you don't know where he is. Um, and uh, yeah, that's the suspense of the movie. The horror of this movie is nonstop brutality. I mean, the first, not even 20 minutes in, you have this whole firefighter department just gutted by Michael, and It's really sad and intense and um, just like um, horrifying because you've just never seen Michael like this before. He's because he's not like Rob Zombie Michael where it's all dramatic. He's just Michael Myers in this movie. Like he's just and I don't explain that about like the remakes. It's just like even though yes Michael Myers is good in those movies, he just he's so tall, and it's just nice to see like average height Michael Myers be able to do all this stuff because I feel like he always could do this stuff. I thought it was just like MPA or whatever why they couldn't do it. It doesn't take anything out of it for me, like the suspense and stuff. I mean, I like suspense more over the gore when it comes to the Halloween films because there's just something awesome about suspense with Michael Myers, and him just in the shadows lurking. That's the kind of the best part of Halloween is what Michael does in those movies is just hiding, and you don't know where he's hiding and stuff. Um, but with this, he's a lot more out in the open. It's a little more, Jason like, and yeah, I mean, there's a couple parts where I'm like, they didn't have to go this far, but at the same time, it made sense because he did survive the fire from the last movie, so he was probably really mad and took it out on the town. Uh, he was already, on a killing spree, with that town, but I guess he was just very angry. Um, and that's just how I viewed Michael in this movie was that he was just horrifying, and this was the Michael Myers where he has no motive like the original movie where he does not care who you are, like he he's gonna if you're in his way, like that's it. Like Michael Myers is going to you know it's he's really scary in this one because he has no motive. That's the thing. He has no motive. In every single Halloween film, he's had a motive. So um, maybe that like some of that horror was missing or suspense because there was a motive Michael had. The fact that he has no motive in this movie is really awesome because he's scarier without a motive. You don't know why he's doing what he's doing. You can't read his mind, so it's just really scary, and it makes for the brutality and everything a lot more horrifying because there's no reason to it. He's just evil, and that's the quote they keep on reusing throughout the film. I did think the mob stuff, of course, was a little too much. I didn't think they needed to, and, and I just don't think they really did it well anyway. But it was cool that you had all these major characters in this movie, and but Michael Myers doesn't have a motive though, so it made it interesting. Um, but the brutality was I mean it was done well. The sound effects, the um, the special effects, like it looks real and you believe it, and it's pretty brutal. There's a lot of death scenes in this movie, a lot of kills, but that's the point of the title of the movie is that um, it definitely lives up to the title for sure. But the movie has a lot more to offer than that. At least to me, it felt like, and this felt like definitely the middle entry of a trilogy. Um, and it definitely had that Empire Strikes Back kind of middle entry vibe feel to me. Um, it just it 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 had that middle entry feeling, which was really cool. because watching the movie, it's like, okay, this isn't the beginning of the story, but it's not the end of the story. So I enjoyed that. And I thought the movie did it brilliantly. This isn't the beginning, like 2018. Neither is this the end, like Halloween Ends. This is in between those two films. So um, I think maybe a few people will look back at this film differently when Halloween Ends comes out. Um, but yeah, it was just really cool that it had that middle entry vibe where like all the characters fail, nobody succeeds, and the villain wins. It had that Infinity War style to it as well, where everybody fails, everybody's defeated, and the villain is the winner of the film, is the um, like one of the last remaining characters. It it definitely did its job doing something. I mean, the Halloween series has never done something like this before, like that, but it was done really well. Something else I really loved was how they portrayed Dr. Loomis. The actor, whoever they got, looked just like him with that prosthetic makeup. At first I thought when I was watching it, I thought it was CGI, but it wasn't. It was actually prosthetic makeup. I knew it was a look-like actor, but I didn't know it was prosthetic. So that was they did a really great job with that. Um, but I would say that this movie is a massive improvement over Halloween 2018. Uh, the movie kind of hits all the right notes most of the time, and despite its problems, despite its flaws, despite some of its cheesy dialogue and character, that's another part is yeah, is the character decisions, the bad character decisions in this movie. Um, it's my favorite Halloween movie. I didn't feel that way about the remakes when I first saw them, or Halloween 2018. I always was like, oh, the original is still the best, and the original Halloween too. But this one, I felt different. I was like, wow, this is this really the best Halloween movie? Is this as great as I thought it was gonna be? And um, I really enjoyed it. Not and this movie isn't for everybody, and everybody's gonna love the movie like how I love this movie. But I know I'm not the only person where this is their favorite Halloween film. This is like a really great Halloween movie. I would say, in a way, you could say Halloween 2, the original, is better. I mean, my opinion, in the sense that because Halloween 2 is my favorite horror film. Now, if we're talking just a Halloween film, what is the best Halloween movie? I would say Halloween Kills. So Halloween 2, the original, and Halloween Kills are kind of tied. Um, and I have nothing against the original movie. Here I don't want to I don't want to say the original Halloween is overrated. It's just to me sometimes I don't know it kind of gets a little too much credit. Um, it's a great movie, but it's not perfect at all. The movie is set in the Midwest, and I'm from the Midwest. I grew up in the Midwest. I know how the Midwest is, and the fall leaves, and how the trees are, and everything. And the original movie did did not um, did not feel like it took place in the Midwest. It felt like it took place in South Pasadena, California, which is where it was filmed. So it's not the perfect movie, but it is a great movie, and it's a great Halloween movie, and it started the franchise, and I'm always gonna love it. And that's probably the Halloween film I've watched the most out of all of them. But um, I just feel like some people are like, I mean, their opinions about the franchise is like a little stubborn in the sense like, oh, you can never beat the original, you can never be better than the original movie. It's just, you know, if the sequel, because there's plenty of sequels where people find that better than the original movie. So I feel like it's always possible if done right. And this movie, you had John Carpenter doing the score, you had Jamie Lee Curtis in this film, you had the original characters, you had you had Nick Castle, and then like you have all those, you know, original cast and crew members, but then you have like the new people too, like James Stu Courtney, which James Stu Courtney is probably the best Michael Myers, my opinion, so far. Live action. I really enjoy his um, portrayal. And then the guy who plays him in the flashback, he's something Armstrong. I don't remember his first name, but I mean, I would almost put that guy at number one as Michael Myers, to be honest. He might be my new favorite Michael Myers, is the flashback Michael Myers. Honestly, um, he got all the movements right, and like I can't stop thinking about uh, that Michael Myers, the way he walked and the movements and everything. It's just he crushed it. So I would say the best live action stunt actors that have played Michael Myers are in this movie. You have Nick Castle in this movie as well. Like you have like three stunt actors that did, you know, perfect job at playing Michael Myers. Only person you didn't have in it was Dick Warlock. You know, like we're talking about the best Michael Myers here, and there's plenty of different portrayals of the character. And George Wilbur did a great job as Michael. Don Shanks did great. Like it's nothing against them. Like it's just this movie really got Michael right out of all the other movies, and that's the most important part, is getting Michael Myers right and getting the mask right and getting the movements right and all the music and those camera angles. Like the movie just did all that. So as a fan, it's my favorite Halloween movie, and I can't wait for Halloween Ends. Um, that's my review, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I will talk to you all very soon. Halloween is right around the corner. It is like in a day. So, all right. Talk to you guys soon. All right, peace.